Hi class, so in this video I'm going to review with you properties of elements, postlab questions. These are some hints that will help you answer the questions. So number 1, it says review the data for the 8 elements, the ones that you tested in the class. Sort the elements into 2 groups based on similarities in their physical and chemical properties. Explain the criteria that were used to separate the elements into these 2 groups. So the key word is criteria. The idea that these are the ways that you are going to determine if it fits into one group, A, or the other group, B. Now remember, some of them were shiny, some of them were dull, some of them were malleable, and some of them were brittle. Some of them react with HCl and or CuCl2, and some of them don't react. And some of them conduct electricity, and some of them are not conductors. So the whole idea is that 7 of the 8 elements can be put into nice, discrete categories that fit together. So your idea is that you're sorting these 4 sets of chemical and physical properties into either criteria for that group or criteria for this group. And when you do that, you can name the elements that go here in this set or the elements that go over here. Now, the way that you do this is you pick. So if you say conductors, I'm going to put them in this group over here on the left. Well, other than conducting, what else do they do? Are they shiny or dull? Are they malleable or brittle? Do they react or do they not react? And you put them right here. You write those criteria right here. And then you pick the elements that fit in that category, that have those chemical and physical properties. And you do the same thing with the right side. You write the criteria in, and then you write the elements that fit those criteria. Now, there's going to be 5 in one and 2 in the other. That leaves us 1 element that kind of fits in both categories. They have characteristics of both. And that's question number 2. Are there any borderline elements? That is, do any of the elements appear to have properties of both groups? So once you organize in number 1 the elements that fit into group A and to group B, the 5 and the 2, there'll be 1 left over, and that's the answer to number 2. So at this point you should know what, once you answer number 1 and 2, what the characteristics of a metal are, what the characteristics of a nonmetal are, and the one element that has characteristics of both are going to be called a metalloid. So what you have to write here is metal, nonmetal, or metalloid. So you answer that 5 times. Okay? In number 4, it says look up the position on the periodic table for each element tested in this lab. Write a general statement describing the position of the metals, nonmetals, and metalloids on the periodic table. So once you have organized them, you take out your periodic table and you say, okay, here's magnesium, here's my zinc, here's my tin, here's my aluminum. Those all have certain characteristics. Where are they on the periodic table? Here's my carbon, here's my sulfur, right? Where are they on the periodic table? And then notice there's this dark stair step shown here. And there's one of the elements that you found. It's the borderline element, sits on this stair step. That's how you're going to tell between one side of the periodic table and the other. In number 5, it says, based on your general knowledge of metals and answer to questions 1, 2, and 3, classify each element as a metal, nonmetal, or metalloid. So you're writing either metal, nonmetal, or metalloid on these 8 blanks here. And on number 6, it says predict the general properties for question 5 of the following elements: selenium, calcium, and cobalt. So you take out your periodic table and you find out where cobalt is, It's right there, number 27. Selenium is number 34. And calcium is number 20. So based on those, you're trying to determine what the properties are, not whether they're metals, nonmetals, or metalloids. You're writing what their general properties are. So you're writing 4 chemical and physical properties for each element. And that's how you answer the questions for the properties of elements lab.